if you are able to improve retention by 5%, and again, this is a stat from you.
Well, to be clear, this is a stat that comes from research out of Harvard Business School,
Yep.
Stanford Business School, and Frederick Reichheld, the gentleman who came up with Net Promoter Score. So this is research that's been affirmed by all three of those folks. I quoted it, you're right, in my speech, but they're the ones who did the primary research.
Thank you. And if you are able to improve retention 5%, it'll yield 25 to 100% increase in profit.
Profit. Not revenues. Profits. Correct.
Why is it such a monumental shift, and why does it take such a small amount of change to enact it?
I understand that folks who are listening may have thought there would be no math in our conversation today, but allow me to break it down just a little bit for people. Most financial advising firms are running at a profit. They're making money. They're keeping the lights on. They're paying their salaries. So each incremental dollar that firm makes is going to be more profitable than the first dollar that comes in because all the base operating costs have been paid for. Additionally, the longer a client stays with you, the more profitable they become. Why? Well, all of our marketing costs have been recouped. All of our onboarding and getting them set up in our programs, our software, our system, that's all been done. So now when they're saying, hey, I want to put another $5,000 into the market, hey, I want to buy this insurance vehicle, I want to do this thing, each of those additional dollars is more profitable as well because we already know how they operate. We know how to best communicate with them. They're already up and running in our system. So the moral of this story is the longer we keep them, the more profitable the dollars become. So when we think about 5% of the people leaving, and instead we keep those folks, it's usually the people that are leaving are ones that have either just joined us, in which case we've not recouped any of their marketing expenses at all. So they join, they leave, and now we're 100% in the hole. Or they've been with us for a while, and they're our most profitable, most dialed in clients. And when they leave, it cuts right to the bottom line quickly. So that's why you're kind of in trouble if they're leaving quickly or they're leaving after a long time. Either way, it's really chipping away at your profits.
One of those big, I guess the disconnect when somebody becomes a client was the handoff. And you use the analogy of the baton in a relay race, which I think is really spot on. And how can, impact when somebody signs on the dotted line and becomes a client of ours and works with us, we have a kickoff call. You start to meet sort of the people involved, but you don't meet all of them. And I think one of the takeaways from your presentation that you gave us was let them meet some of those people that they may not otherwise interact with. Put a face to the person that's going to be dealing with their account a lot and going to be in the trenches with them, so to speak. Why is there such value in that?
Well, there's huge value in that for the individual advisor and for the relationship. Let's look at both. For the individual advisor, most advisors I know have very filled schedules meeting with clients. They have clients that want to meet with them more than they're actually available. And at best, lots of them are doing, maybe an annual review, a semi-annual. For some of your top clients, maybe you're doing a quarterly review. You're doing those type of conversations. If you're having to do those all by yourself with no support team, you reach a point where you have no more hours in the day to give. You have no more time to meet with folks. Whereas if you can elevate the status of your team so that your clients start to see that, talking to this person might be even better than talking to the advisor, it changes the conversation. If you're trying to get on the advisor's calendar, who's the better person to know? The advisor or their assistant who manages their calendar? Well, 100% their assistant. But if we haven't elevated the assistant, and instead we've given them a title like assistant that basically says you are less than, you're the person who, if you can't get to me, I guess you got to deal with that person. We're creating a feeling within the client base that there's only one person that has all the answers and can help us. Additionally, if we look at systematically and operationally, this starts to affect our employee morale. Everybody, when they go to work, wants to feel like they're making an impact, no pun intended, that they're contributing to the conversation, that they're part of the team. It is the job of the leader to elevate those folks and to hold them out in front of the clients in a way that says, this is our expert on this topic. They're even smarter than I am on this topic. They're the go-to person. The reason I hired them is because they're so brilliant and talented and amazing. That's who you should be dealing with. what I find is that both the team member and the owner or the CEO or the advisor are both excited when the client goes to the right person with the question they have. But if we don't take any time to educate the clients on who the right person is, we're never going to reach that goal.